Well, I just got done working out and I did tumbling for the first time. I was taught how when I was younger, so it was just a matter of, I knew what to do technically, but that means rolling around where you roll over on your back. If you get thrown or something, being able to roll forwards and roll backwards like that. And so my vaporizer pen, it is going to be in there. I'm getting that back, period. And it's going to be pristine like it was. I'm getting that thing back. It's like it's in an overlaying dimension, and that's why I have to attempt to pull to myself. Like it's not in another place that someone has around here, or anywhere cross planes. It's like trans-dimensional, or interdimensional, where well, something like that. Or it could just be somehow it randomly disappeared from exactly where I knew it was, even though the place tends to be messy. I know where everything is within the mess, and things have happened that are so shocking, like fentanyl appearing in the cabinet, or in the smallest pocket of my purse, pot that was stolen from me appearing. Where literally I went out, checked everything. We're talking about a pocket that's this big, and checked that had keys and had just a little bit of keys in there, and I end up checking it after some weird delivery man stuff happens, and I see the container of stuff, and I'm, oh, okay, well, it's there it appears. It's more so the cartridge. I want that damn cartridge back. But perhaps if someone needs it, then that is good. Or if perhaps somehow it's got knocked under a billion things, like for no apparent reason somehow, then that is good. But I've seen too much stupid stuff to and so many of those pens have been taken from me. Like it sucks. That it's like not exactly surprising, but the idea is that I have to pull it back to me. Like, okay, you do that, you've done that, whoever it is, I have to pull it back to me. And so I know I'm gonna just find it. Like it's gonna pop up like, bam. Oh, here it is. Bam, you wanted this back. Here you go. There it is. And it's perfect like it just was. Through space and time, going back in time, if someone used it, that becomes reversed, and everything exactly as it was appears exactly as it was. Untouched. So yeah, doing now sit-ups and tumbling along with everything else. And also nice shower, but the water has issues. I mean, lots of issues. If I stay in the water for too long, parts of my skin will start to burn off because of what they have in the water. So I have to be very careful. I cannot be in there for any longer than absolutely necessary in order to take any kind of shower or whatnot. All of you fucking hackers, you think your lives suck. Your lives all suck. Like, your lives totally suck. And you artificially, like, have this, oh, I'm happy with, evil doing. Um, or that which we call along the negative spectrum, whether or not you want to call it evil, or place of value laid in judgment upon it. It is smart versus stupid yet again. So you're using the stupid way of attaining some semblance of happiness, like a quick fix. You're all just drug addicts, basically. You're getting high off of evil shit. So you could say, "Oh, I don't use drugs." Yeah, you do, because it's a quick. What you're doing is this quick fix. That's what you're getting. This fear energy and stuff. What you do, you sap this quick fix, fear, anger, lower chakra, emotional energy, and you're just like you're just energetic drug addicts. That's what you are. You're energetic freaking drug addicts. So all of you and I, Begin, you deserve to be told that you are all far worse junkies than I had ever been at this point, because you are literally energetic drug addicts, sapping life force from your patients, sapping life force from your own patients. How do I know that? Because James Forrestal, you told me that you were doing it to me, and it's on your Facebook. But things are changing so much that it's easy to draw what I need to me. It makes me sad that I have to somehow just say fuck you all, and like Killing Season, the movie where the American and the Russian just part ways like that. But what I place attention on is the sky. We actually have real clouds. It's a semblance of what look like real clouds today. Real clouds are something I've not seen in a long time, so I hope that they are somewhat real. It looks like none of you could actually really even care. Even Mr. Environmentalist Chemist don't even care. Your planet's being destroyed and you're just going along with it, while squabbling over stupidities of Ibogaine. Oh, it's the most important. It's the most important. What you know are not even thinking straight. Your universe is what's the most important thing here, and you're destroying it. Stop doing that. I grew up with a mother who called people who were activists of any sort for the planet eco-terrorists. She would call them eco-terrorists, and they had a joke at Chevron that, "Oh, are the eco-terrorists showing up?" And they would scream, "Get a job," at them. Actually, I was in the car once while she did that to somebody. But now I would be one of those people holding a sign outside of Chevron saying, "This is what you're guilty of." Most of your employees maybe didn't know at first, or maybe they did, because my mom acted pretty sick as a Nazi at different times when I was a teenager. But the contrast between her and my stepfather, or all father figures, was so drastic that, she looked very much like an angel in comparison. What different things she would say, different comments, it just really didn't make sense. So, I have many things to do. Exorcisms to learn. Very literally, I just asked, well, how do I do this if this guy, if this guy can't really teach me whatever he's doing quickly? Go to Google or go on the internet and look at exorcisms, exorcist stuff. Even if you can't find instructions, look at cases. You will figure it out. You already figured out the backwards part, the Latin, the shaking and stuff, because you've had it happen to you. You understand firsthand what it feels like to become almost possessed. Even though they couldn't totally do it to me, they could never quite totally do it to me. So when it comes to the total possession, I don't have the experience in that area to say that happened to me and I had an exorcism. Because for that, that's where you need somebody else to help you. I was able to do it by myself. But with people here, it seems like they'll need me to help them. I'm already helping them by staying alive and walking around, if I can get, go walk around without people doing weird things. Just the presence there, it causes, you could say, a sort of, it causes people to deprogram. Let's see. So, why do I look for the living among the dead? That's what Crown wouldn't really stop saying to me. He said, Krista, why do you look for the living among the dead? You're looking for the living among the dead. Stop doing that. Look for the living. The ones who already have life. The ones who are dead. If they're going to stay dead, they will stay dead. If they're going to stay in sin, they will stay in sin. If they're going to stay evil, they'll stay evil. Whether or not you believe in evil, I'm simply using it as a term to describe the behaviors, or what we would term evil. But in such grief, we have the kindling, the new beginnings of a new philosophy. What is man? What is man now? We're talking about time travel, we're talking about telepathy, we're talking about telekinesis, we're talking about all kinds of abilities and senses that we were not even accounting for in old philosophy. Where do we put these in a new philosophy for the new age? Why do we call it a new age when it's not new? It's simply a return to the old spiritual greatness that we once had, basically in Hawaii, which is why I believe the people in California have all of us have had a better chance at this. Certain areas, I've noticed actually in Silicon Valley that there are certain areas that have not really been hit yet by the program, and then certain towns and areas that have been, and that it's still been delineated a little bit certain, so that we might all be right there, but if we're not talking to each other, no one will know. Oh, this happened in this area. Okay, what's happening in that area? What's happening in that area? That town, that town, that town, even though it's all Greater Bay Area. But I might try to find if there's someone else here, but it seems like it rests on me to keep the entire place afloat. Does it really? I don't know. But I know that there is a great price if I die. I know I won't die, but sometimes one wants to die. At times I don't want to. But sometimes things that you're subjected to, you know what happens when you die, so you think, well, God, it would be easier to just terminate and get back on this darn ship, do some more calculations, and get down here again. But then, when you think about it, oh God, alright, putting my soul stream and doing more engineering on another person, alright, we've set up contingency plans for things like this, but why would I want to do it over again? I'm right here in the middle of it, and especially if I get born again, in the middle of this, I mean, I'll be exposed to all this horrible stuff. Plus, I won't remember any of the really awesome stuff that happened, which means recounting negative things, I suppose. But it's kind of like your battle story or war stories that your grandfather tells. Your grandfather couldn't tell them if he decided in the middle of the war, I can't take it, I'm gonna check out. My grandfather managed to not check out in the middle of World War II when he should have died. It was kind of a miracle that saved him. So, I'll have to go up to 50 push-ups now that I can actually do them. Not quite successively, but very proficiently now. I have to get myself up further. And also, what to do with all of this. I think I'm going to literally start ignoring this telepathic mischief. Which means, communications as well as telekinetic mischief. It's not worth my time. I'm supposed to affect change on the third density, not in Vision Land, or Dune Land, or strange fourth density box land. Yeah, there are these strange things that look like grids, like Matrix Green, and a cube, as if you've got people trapped inside of these cube-like structures almost, like cubicles, cubes. That was what they would call them. But you all will see. Most of the people that end up seeing this, the majority, that does not necessarily mean people that are clicking on it on YouTube. That means people who are watching it real time on the phone, people who can watch it astrally. I'm talking about that kind of thing. Those people will see very soon that they're just not going to be around anymore. It's hard to tell you goodbye. We don't want to tell you goodbye because we don't want you to be trapped in that darkness. But just like John Lennon sings to his mother, and his father, when she told me that was the same thing that happened to my parents, I did not know for a long time that they were not my real parents anymore. My mommy's dead. I just have to tell you goodbye. Because when I do, everything I do will increase in the direction that I place focus, which is on something big and a book. But none of you will have anything to do with it, none of you hacker people. Because there will be others. Die klügsten Männer der Welt, the cleverest people in the world. The Ärzte song, Austrian people, Ärzte song. The way Nietzsche felt was kind of like this heavy sort of sitting position, like of fatigue and being sick and tired, how you'll see me sitting a lot, but at least I'm forcing myself to do exercises and jumping jacks and push-ups and things now that I can manage to do it. He felt like there was a weight upon him, and also a concept of why are you so stupid that you cannot understand me. And no type 5 wants help, ever. But when you end up with some sort of chronic thing going on, you end up having to ask for help. But it was kind of like he didn't quite know what to do with the information that he'd been given. It was like being told the most important thing in all history, like how he would say, also Sprachtaratüster is my most important work ever, period. And that's because it's about this. We're watching it. We schauen das jetzt an. I said that wrong. But we're watching it. Wir schauen das jetzt an. Ja. Gibt's da der Mann mit dem weißen Haar? Na, das ist wie so ein Blond. Und ich weiß, er kann mich verstehen, ich weiß das genau, aber so dann Deutsch sprechen. Im Auto, gut. That sounded so wrong. I know that sounded totally wrong. I've not been able to use any German that I know for a long time. I haven't been able to speak German with anybody for a long time, so I haven't been able to hear it to know how to say it correctly. Yes, drive away. And see, he was there with a kind of truck with this guy is completely involved in some sort of, you know, the whole thing to kill me stuff. He is the number one guy right now that lives here, the blonde-haired guy that I've caught on video before. But when this stuff first happened, he would actually outright say things to me. But now they all will pretend that, oh, this isn't happening, but then, you know, go about their astral things that would affect reality sometimes, that would be less preferred for me, which I will not describe what they are, because when you say what they are, right there, you produce an opening for what you say, speaking something into existence, for what you say to happen, and I have literally watched that before, so not going to describe a darned thing. But what I describe instead, what we describe instead is I've got these cool pastels over here, and I think I should make some pictures with them, or I think I'm going to figure out some new things, since giving away any of my, well, at this point I can just say it, genius, giving away that information, because, oh, you want to disagree with Marco Riza the Yael, saying, he was bragging, saying, oh, I found you, you're the iBeGame provider, you're the best, and I found you, and the guy is not human, who basically controls everything from the top. Hello, airplane up there. You know, these airplanes that are not, you know, commercial planes. They're just very small planes that fly overhead, and they fly at low altitude. See, check this one out here. You can see him. See? There, and it's like, what are they doing exactly? You know, I don't know what the hell they're doing. I hope I found that. You know, I hope you could see that. But they'll fly very fast and very low, down like that, and they'll do it almost right over my house, or at least where I'm living right now. It seems like things are about to change. That is good. It is very good. Change is coming. It's our turn now. It's a shame, you know. How many of you in the dark would actually want to be a part of the frickin' change? Confused and on yourselves. But instead, I speak of love. Sad enough without your woes, Bob Marley. Come on and speak of love. Sad enough without your voice, your woes. And so I will clean the house and do quite a good number of things that I know must be done, and will be very, very, very successful at it. I ended up throwing animal magnetism. It was rather obvious the way things occurred. It was just obvious that oh, we took your pen, but it's so to get you to read animal magnetism because you weren't going to read that. So we want you to read that. But to see the we that was talking, it's like, who's we? Who's they? What's up when people are talking to you? That's the kicker, At first, none of us could figure it out. We'd just say they because we didn't know. We couldn't identify it. Our skills were not strong enough. That's why we say they say. Who's they? We don't know. It just sounds like a plural, like a they. And that would be because whoever it was, or the different groups, we could not sense. It's the Pleiadians. It's the reptilians. It's this group of people. It's this or that. We couldn't specify it very well yet. We didn't, or we didn't know that there were specifications like that. So, we want you to read Animal Magnetism, and so I open it, but then as I sit there in the slight telepathic mesmeric sleep, I suppose you would call it, and I just snap out of the thing. It's oh my god, you know what this... I know Walter is on my side, and he knew. Take a teaspoon from it, and the rest you don't even need. I did learn what that teaspoon was. I learned it a long time ago. That's the funny thing. And I won't say what it is, but I did learn it a long time ago, randomly flipping through the book, just flipping through it. My eyes hit on something, and I knew that was it. That was the little teaspoon, like a grain of salt, to take off of the book. But it's so disgusting, the theories in there, and influencing people in certain ways, using certain tactics and techniques, and it's just disgusting. Would it be good to read? For possibly self-defense, I suppose. But it's just terrible what they're talking about, and they're wording it in a Victorian scientific fashion, as if they're helping people. And when I was reading it and thinking, oh my god, you are wording this in a way that it could sound you could pass it by the general public if a random person picked up this book. But you are really writing this for the Masons. You are writing this for all your secret society friends. Oh my god. You, Reichenbach, and all of and Babbitt and all of you are writing this. You are writing this stuff to screw around with people. Not Babbitt so much, but Reichenbach and this other guy, Gregory, English guy. And also people in the book. It's not Odal. It's just take it from the Avatar. It's not Odal. I can tell you that much. I knew that immediately. Every time I would see this Odal concept, it's not Odal. It's not. That's not what it is. I did identify generally what it was, but I'm not going to say, because you don't deserve to know. That refers to not, innocent people watching this, but people that had been trying to harm me and, well, murder me. So I've decided, yeah, I will not, I know I will not say. It seems both me and several philosophers' lives were given. Plato did not talk about this very much because he didn't want to be made fun of. Nietzsche did not care. Plato did not really want to get made fun of. He was careful. And so it would just be called Plato's mysticism. People would know he was a mystic of some sort, that he was very mystical. But that would not really be talked about because he would be very academic in his writing. Because he didn't want the people in Athens making fun of him or saying stuff or trying to kill him like Socrates. He was very, very determined to not get killed. And so I think the not get killed at the same time as talking about philosophy might be that. And the crazy part, we know where that comes from because it's just so obvious. And I do actually look kind of like him, which I think, oh, I'm so ugly then. But then I look at myself in the mirror, not in the camera, and I don't look ugly. It's just the camera causes things to look different. Now let's see if this person with their engine on actually, like, leaves the parking lot. Okay, I think maybe they are. Also, I need to take my different supplements. And see people coming to me. They told me if you succeed, more than one will be saved. Meaning more than just me. If you succeed, it'll be more than just one person that snaps out of it. Maybe you will, maybe you won't. But I realized I wouldn't have been doing all the working out had I not literally thrown the book at the wall, saying no to it. You want to see it. And also, I knew that the process of reading the book would allow the thought form to attempt to infiltrate your mind. That's part of it, too. The process of actually reading the book, just like Dune, allows the thought form of the program to attempt to install itself or infiltrate you. So that's why I can't read Dune. I realized that when I saw it with the animal magnetism so strong with animal magnetism, I realized, wait, that's why I can't read Dune. I keep sensing the thing trying to infiltrate me, and that's why I want to rip it apart or whatever, or throw it at the wall and stuff. I can't get to the story because there's something following the thing, or programs with thought form concept. Because before we had music that they would pray over satanically, we had books. So what do you think they were doing with them? Of course. And we've got the screw tape letters, which is exactly about this exact thing. Exactly about this. Literally, they describe it exactly as they do it. Exactly how they will think thoughts for you, and you will think it is your own thought. That all of it. C.S. Lewis just says all of it, and he even says in the preface, I read this. If I got that video, I'm not sure. But he reads in the preface how, oh, I made my hell like a secret society of sorts, or an official society, he words in it, an official society of sorts, where there's all this greed, lying, and corruption, and rudeness to one's superiors could mean basically death, and that's how reptilians are. Um, and so I was, and then he says, and I got my idea. He must have like been thinking, oh yeah, when this happens, it's gonna be like in your face Christians. I was I was screwing with you the entire time. I was never a real Christian ever. Screw you, Jesus. He says, I think I got my ideas of the spiritual cannibalism of feeding off your energy from David Lindsay's neglected Voyage to Arcturus. And then he mentions how he came up with the names of the characters, the sound of the names, and saying, I believe the sound of the names was again due to Lindsay's Voyage to Arcturus. Again, he mentioned it twice, Arcturus, in there. And when I saw that, I just, drop your jaw. And then I threw that book on the ground and was so angry because I'd grown up with that book, and read it when no one else could understand it except me, and so I'd read it as a before the age of 10. But if you look at it, you can get a lot of information out of it. The way that they talk about different things, it is set up to be in a Christian framework, but there are things in there that if you're paying attention, you'll see, oh, this sounds very true. Or the concept of just Dune sensing truth concept. You will sense truth in different phrases or different things, the way they do things. So I'm gonna get myself out of this with no family, with nobody, with almost no money. I'm gonna get myself out of this, and I'm going to take back my town. I'm going to take back where I was raised, and finally make these people proud to say that they lived in San Ramon. This isn't exactly, if you say San Ramon, it's not like a coveted place to live, Danville or Alamo. When people say that, it's, oh, you have money, something like that. Alamo, particularly, Lafayette, those areas. Orinda a little bit as well. But San Ramon is more, oh, you're close to us, but yeah, and a lot of people here would be very envious of those other people, even though we have Chevron headquarters sitting right here, like the practically global headquarters of it, sitting right here, with all this secret money going around. People will at least be proud to say, yeah, I lived in that apartment complex with that girl. She acted kind of crazy at first, but who wouldn't act crazy, I guess? But the stuff that she was doing would work, and so we were freed. We were all so scared we didn't know what to do, and it felt like the better choice to just go along with them, but she knew about it beforehand, and we didn't believe her. And then she knew how to fight back when no one else of us did. A little light in the darkness. I'll have to write up a new philosophy, and I have to get my fountain pen to work. My fountain pen is like not working. It will work if I dip it into the ink, which is far more traditional. Maybe that's for reasons so I can really feel like how they were doing it in the older days, really dipping their fountain pen and writing like that. I always thought that was cool. That was like the first calligraphy pen, or first basic fountain pen I got, which is just the nib, and you dip it in ink and write until it dries out. Dip again and write. And that's how they did it back then, or with quills. So perhaps I'll do that instead. I'll see you next time. The Brilliant Loser is over and out.